Welcome back, gang. We are on our way to an old one-room schoolhouse. It was built in 1897. It's been turned into a residential property, and we are cleaning out the carriage house slash barn where a horse would have been stalled during the day, probably for the teacher. So anyway, this is going to be a multi-day job, I believe, and I'll get as much footage as I can. It's been a very busy week. We've listed a couple residential properties. We are getting ready to close a residential property, and we've been doing some commercial stuff this week as well. So busy's good, but stay tuned. So here we are from the inside. My guess is that that's where the carriage would have been stored, and then near these stalls over here. But we're going to get all this cleared out. There are some things that he wants kept. He was a local mortician and sold his business. And eventually we'll be making a move. And so part of our grand plan is to not only be able to get this cleared out for him eventually. The dirty side of real estate then becomes the prosperous side of real estate. Oh, here is a little bit of progress. And this may not look like much. However, getting this much of a foothold feels like an amazing accomplishment. It's really natural to ask how you go about this. And it's just like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. I was fortunately able to get another 100-gallon tote filled up before his weekly trash service came. So I got that out. I've been pulling out some of this timber and lumber to put over there. Obviously that piece is not the age of the rest of this stuff, but these pieces are, and those pieces I got stacked up over there are. So I'm just trying to get in here. Obviously, we don't want to touch anything more than we have to. Ideally, we would only touch it once. However, I've got a lot of scrap metal building up in the back of the trailer, bikes, an old water heater, just odds and ends. So it might get to the point where I run and get that stuff emptied out and then get back on this. But anyway, that's the progress we make. And there's the progress from day one. We can actually get back here, so we've got a walkway all the way through there. Divide and conquer. And a full load. Oh man, one load down. I'm not one to feel overwhelmed, but I understand why people would feel overwhelmed when they walk into such a mess like that. Really, as I told the homeowner, I kind of just see the first pitch that's thrown at me, and I start putting the ball into play where I want from there. So the first thing that kind of popped up into my lap was scrap metal, and there was some bikes. And a couple days ago, I've got a 75-gallon water heater I got to get to the scrap yard. So anyway, as soon as that presented itself, the bikes and the scrap metal, I started looking for as much scrap metal as I could without having to move things or touch things, because obviously we don't want to move or have to handle anything more than once. So I did step over a lot of things, smashed some things. But anyway, I started getting the scrap metal out, and then that led to an opportunity to get some wood out. So those are two things that we can get rid of pretty quickly. Obviously, we try to limit trips to the landfill because it's costly. I know I've seen a lot of people that get charged by weight, but the local landfill for us does not charge by weight. They just have flat volume charges. So like a pickup truck is $75, and if you've got a trailer, it's $104, and that is a manual unload. And if you've got a dump trailer, then it's $136. Now, I don't always do I always have to manually unload it, but sometimes I just try to get as much on as I can. Sometimes they do charge me the $136. Then I've got to get down in the pit and unload this stuff, which is not fun, because one, it's me on the ground, manually unloading this with loaders everywhere, and those loaders have the 4-yard buckets. But it's also an F-150. I mean, obviously you get out of it no problem, but when it gets to the wetter months, getting down in there with just a 4-wheel drive F-150 is no fun. So anyway, this is like I said, the first load, and I'll probably have, my guess is 3 more loads. But I think a natural question a lot of people ask is, how do you charge? I charge by the job. So each job is different, each pickup is different. However, when I first started, I tried to base the prices. I tried to base the price of the service close to what the drop-off dumpsters cost. I thought that was an honorable way to charge. It kept me relevant from a price standpoint. I provided the service of the labor in addition to that, and plus it just set a baseline. So 1 down, and like I said, probably 3 to go. Thanks for watching. We got a few real estate videos coming, and we've also got some more. We'll have some more junk removal, heavy trash hauling. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.